Welcome to Business Book Daily, where we pull one useful idea from one business book and turn it into something you can actually use. Today's book is The PayPal Wars by Eric Jackson. Jackson is a former PayPal executive, entrepreneur, and author who worked on PayPal's early marketing and later wrote about the company's fight to survive the dot-com era. Before we get into the book, today's episode is sponsored by CommissionOnly.com. Want to sell more without adding fixed sales salaries? Many companies hire commission-only reps, experienced sellers who get paid only when they produce. Post your opportunity on CommissionOnly.com and get in front of motivated reps who are already looking for performance-based roles. That's CommissionOnly.com. Now back to the PayPal wars. The big idea is that PayPal did not win because online payments were easy. It won because online payments were hard, risky, messy, and full of problems that scared off weaker companies. In the early days, PayPal was fighting on several fronts at once. It needed more users. It needed better fraud controls. It needed stronger technology. It needed customer trust. It had to deal with competitors, media pressure, regulatory risk, internal conflict, and a powerful dependence on eBay. That's what makes the story useful. A lot of founders imagine growth as the reward for finding the right idea. The PayPal wars shows a rougher truth. Growth creates new problems faster than it solves old ones. The companies that survive are the ones that learn quickly under pressure. The first lesson is that speed can be a survival tool. PayPal had to move fast because the market was changing fast and competitors were close behind. But speed did not mean reckless guessing. It meant making decisions, testing them, and adjusting before slower companies could catch up. That matters because a young company rarely has perfect information. Waiting until every answer is clear can be just as dangerous as moving too soon. The goal is not speed for the sake of speed. The goal is fast learning. The second lesson is that distribution can matter as much as product. PayPal's growth was tied closely to eBay users who needed a better way to send and receive payments. That channel gave PayPal access to people with an immediate problem and a clear reason to use the product. This is one of the most practical ideas in the book. A strong product still needs a smart path to customers. If your target buyers already gather somewhere, search somewhere, trust someone, or rely on a certain platform, that channel may be more valuable than another round of product polish. The third lesson is that fraud and risk are part of the business model. PayPal's early fraud problems were not side issues. They were central to whether the company could survive. The company had to grow while also learning how to control the risk created by that growth. Every business has some version of this. It may not be fraud. It may be chargebacks, churn, bad fit customers, compliance, quality problems, operational overload, support volume, or cash flow pressure. Leaders need to manage risk early, not after it becomes public and expensive. The fourth lesson is that platform dependence creates both leverage and danger. PayPal benefited from eBay because eBay users helped drive adoption. But that dependence also made PayPal vulnerable. When one platform, partner, customer, marketplace, or channel controls too much of your growth, your business can become stronger and weaker at the same time. That's a hard trade-off. The channel that helps you grow may also become the channel that can squeeze you later. The fifth lesson is that talent density changes what a company can survive. PayPal's early team included people who later became major founders, investors, and operators. But the practical point is not to chase famous names. It's to hire people who can think clearly, take ownership, handle pressure, and solve hard problems without waiting to be rescued. Early-stage growth does not reward people who need perfect instructions. It rewards people who can operate when the instructions are changing every day. So how do you apply this? Start by identifying the biggest pressure point in your growth. It might be customer acquisition, churn, fulfillment, fraud, cash flow, platform dependence, or team capacity. Name the risk before it becomes the reason growth stalls. Next, look at your main distribution channel. Ask where your best customers already spend time, make decisions, search for help, or trust recommendations. Growth gets easier when your offer meets customers where they already are. Then review your platform and partner dependence. If one source controls too much of your revenue, leads, traffic, or customer access, build a backup plan. That might mean growing an email list, adding referral channels, strengthening direct sales, or diversifying partnerships. Finally, hire for pressure, not just credentials. Look for people who can make decisions, learn quickly, explain problems clearly, and stay useful when conditions get messy. Here are 3 insights worth sharing. First, a startup does not win because the idea is clever. It wins because the team can survive pressure long enough to turn the idea into a working business. Second, distribution matters. The fastest growing companies find customers before competitors do. Third, platform dependence can make a company grow faster and become more fragile at the same time. The PayPal Wars is worth reading if you want an inside look at PayPal's early battles with competitors, fraud, eBay, and the dot-com crash. It's also useful if you're building or leading a startup and want a clearer view of what early growth actually feels like. You might skip it if you want a broad strategy framework instead of an inside startup survival story. Today's closing sponsor is memoirghostwriting.com. Many of the best business books begin as ideas leaders have been refining for years. Frameworks, philosophies, and lessons learned the hard way. Writing the book forces those ideas into clear form, and once they're on the page, they can travel far beyond a single conversation or presentation. At memoirghostwriting.com, we write memoirs and business books for entrepreneurs, founders, executives, and industry experts. We handle the interviews, structure, writing, editing, design, and publishing, so the final product is polished, professional, and built around your voice. If you've ever thought about what a business book could do for your authority, speaking, consulting, lead generation, or legacy, visit memoirghostwriting.com. That's it for today's Business Book Daily. One book, one useful idea, and one smarter way to build.